Hello there, how's everyone doing? I'm just going to be sharing this live to my Facebook group, and then everything will be ready as we are going to be going on live with Kitty on my Juggling Health and Wealth Facebook group. So let me just set up to redirect to my Facebook Live page. Okay, here we are. All right, so welcome everyone. It's 2 minutes before our scheduled Melbourne time, 11 o'clock, where we're going to be starting our live. And so for those of you who are going to come in or are already online, welcome. And so it's a lovely day in Melbourne, even though it's a little bit cold, but it's wonderful to see some of you already starting to come on. So today, being the Monday after the International Women's Day on the weekend, on Sunday specifically, I'm going to be sharing a topic that I'm very, interested in for myself, but also helping the people that I serve, my clients. And so I'll just wait for another minute, as I know that there are quite a lot of my Facebook friends and also my group members in Juggling Health and Wealth will be coming on. So let's take a look. And so if you are actually on live right now, please type in the comment below where you're from and how do you maybe share a bit about how you look after yourself in different areas of your life, like things like self-compassion, self-love, and self-care, etc., etc. So yeah, I'd love to get started. It's 11 o'clock right here in Melbourne, and I know that there are some of my friends from the US that will be coming on as well. So I'm looking forward to sharing with all of you. Again, I would love for you to be interacting with me. I don't want to just, talk to you monologue. I would love to have more interaction. So please type in the comment below where you're from, whether you're from Melbourne, Sydney, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, US, just type where you're from. And as I share the topic, if you've got any experiences or, comment that you'd like to add to, share, that would be wonderful. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so on Sunday, I celebrated with some of my friends the International Women's Day, which is always on the 8th of March on the Sunday. And so here in Australia is already Tuesday, but I know that some of my US friends is Monday over there in the evening. So we can actively choose to, as whether you're women or men, it doesn't really matter. But in particular, when we think about International Women's Day, we need to always challenge stereotypes. And there might be bias or perceptions that we need to broaden or improve situations. So as we celebrate achievements, what I like to do is to encourage collectively, each of us, whether you're men or women, doesn't matter, that we can actually help to create an equal world. Because I believe that whether it's gender, whether it's race, whether it's your education level, this world needs to be an equal world. So in honor of International Women's Day on Sunday, I'd like to share an important topic today, and that is taking care of yourself inside out. And that is basically aiming to empower not only women, of course, but those around them as well, whether, it's their kids, their family, their community, is very important for us to actually look at that. But of course, when we are thinking about empowering others, we also, first of all, need to empower ourselves. Because, I have written in my book, one of the chapters is called oxygen mask. The concept is, if you go on a plane, you first need to put on your own oxygen mask before assisting others. So that's why it's very, very important for you to look after yourself first before you can look after others. So my questions for you, if you can actually answer me in the comment below, that would be great, is, how do you take care of yourself inside out? Could you improve on what you're doing to be a better you? So if you think that you can actually improve on what you are currently doing to be a better you, or to ultimately reach the best you, then just tell me, yes, I want to improve so that I can not only look after myself, but others as well, and I can become a better me and even the best me. And in fact, this Saturday, I'm actually going to be attending an international women's special event that is called The Best You. And I'm going to be sharing about health. And along with me, there are other ladies that will be sharing things like, fashion, image, how to be confident, through good skincare, makeup, and different things like that. So who here that are on this call, or if you're watching the replay, maybe you can just give me a hashtag replay so that I know that you're not with me right now live, but you're watching this recording later. Hashtag replay. And so who here would like to be a healthier, skinnier, or sexier you? Who do you know that could use with more health in their life, that could have more energy in their life, that is looking to reach their wellness, well-being, or weight goals? Maybe there are some people who would like to lose weight, and that's an area that I help my clients to actually not only lose weight, but body fat percentage, as well as inches and different areas as well. And who here wants to look better, feel better in their dress, in their jeans, in their swimsuits, in their shorts, or whatever that you wear? So I'm sure that, a lot of us actually would like that, don't we? Now, today, I'm going to be sharing a little bit of my story and also give you some ideas, tips, and strategies throughout the time that I've been learning about total wellness as well. And so my hope to you over the next 15, 20 minutes or so is to help you reflect on 3 key principles. If you can implement into your life, will help you look after yourself inside out. So let's get started. The 3 key principles. The first one is nurture your health. So how many of you here actually look after your health? Well, what is the most important part of your health? What do you think? Is it eating a balanced diet? What I always teach my clients is low glycemic impact. Or is it alkaline, Mediterranean, plant-based? There's all sorts of different diets out there, right? Or is it regular exercise? What about getting enough sleep, or balancing your hormones, or taking your vitamin supplements regularly, or going to your doctor for regular checkup? So how many of you can tell me, out of all that I've talked about, what do you believe is an important part of you actually doing this nurturing your health? So maybe you just type in your the comment below and share where out of all of these different points you feel is important to you. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, I've got some comments here. I'll just read that. For some reason, because I'm actually on my laptop and I'm also looking at my phone, I can't read the comments right now yet, but I'll look at them later. But please feel free to just keep on typing into the comment what you feel like is, the way that you personally nurture your health. Okay, so to me, what I've talked about, whether it's eating a healthy, nutritional, plant-based diet, low glycemic, or exercise, or sleep, or hormones, or taking supplements, and going for regular checkup are very important and also critical for living a healthy life. But what if I told you that caring for your body and your total well-being is only a small part of your overall optimal health? What do you think? The body is supposed to be the foundation for everything in life, right? And what if I told you that our body is actually a mirror of how we live our life? Have you thought about that? Think about that for a second. Think about a time when you weren't living the life you're supposed to be living. Maybe you were in a stressful, hostile work or home environment, or if you have experienced in the wrong relationship, or if you felt spiritually or emotionally, mentally disconnected or unwell. Have you experienced any of that? And what if you started getting, little signals from your body? That you're trying to your body is trying to tell you something, that you ignore, and then your body totally crashes. Can you think of a time in your life where something like that has happened? If you have, maybe you can just give me an indication in the comment below that yes, I've actually had experiences of my body telling me something, but I've ignored it. Well, to me, certainly I've experienced that. It has happened to me. This is what the body does. The body speaks to us in whispers. And if we ignore the whispers of the body, it starts to yell. We are suffering by and large, in our day-to-day living from an epidemic that modern medicine has no idea what to do with. People suffering from this epidemic are lethargic, they're exhausted, they're burned out. And I personally have experienced that in the past, and I'm so grateful that I've been able to get past that and being able to get into a healthy state now. But there are so many of us that have experienced, or maybe even right now experiencing, anxiety, depression. You may have experienced toss and turn at night, you can't sleep, or even lost interest in the things that you normally enjoy, or suffer from a whole variety of aches and pains, right? And that is a reality in this day and age. A lot of us are so stressed and unhealthy. So let me just share a little bit about my life journey. It has taken me down various roads, with different twists and turns. I was born with a hole in my heart with congenital defect. My father was a very successful business owner, and he put a lot of energy and effort in his business that he neglected his health. And he spent his health gaining a lot of wealth and financial resources. But then he had to spend a lot of his wealth trying to regain his health. Unfortunately, it was too late for him. He became overweight and very, very sick. And he eventually died of cancer when he was only 52. And for me personally, years ago, I experienced a turning point in my life and my journey. I was dissatisfied with my career as a marketing executive in a telecommunications company. And then I moved on to not-for-profit and ministry work. In all of these different types of careers and ministries, due to heavy workload and stress, I experienced burnout. I experienced, out of balance. And even though, I was doing really well in my career and in ministry, I wasn't actually feeling happy at all because I couldn't sleep properly. And my relationship and social life was suffering. And I also constantly feeling tired all the time. That was probably about, 10, 12 years ago now. And even more importantly, I was so disconnected from who I was and spiritually tapped out that I didn't know how to cope with all of these issues. I don't know about you, but at the time I really felt like I wasn't myself. I don't know how many of you have experienced that. If you have, perhaps you can just type in the comment below that you've also experienced that, and maybe just even write a little bit about your experience. I'd love to have that connection with you, and maybe, you know, we can support each other. And maybe some of the people that are on this call or watching the replay don't feel comfortable sharing, and that's fine as well. But the reason why I'm so open and transparent and being honest with you is that I know that this is something that, you know, happens to so many of us. And so luckily, and with the blessing that I was given, I decided to take time out, you know, to study health and nutrition coaching, and also, you know, with the tools and resources that I've learned, you know, for the past 15 years with the psychology degree and nutrition, and, you know, even a lot of the things that spiritually I've been able to be supported through different causes. I realized that, you know, there are actually at least 5 dimensions of health, and the body, as I mentioned, is the only one part of it. So holistic health is an anchor that I always share. It's the total well-being of spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and social health. So when you look at this, and there's an anchor action that I always share. And so that is something that we all need to be aware of, is all these 5 dimensions. It's not just the body. So are you nurturing your whole body holistically every day? You know, the way you eat, the way you move, the way you rest, the way you think, how you care for yourself inside out, how you use your time, and how you follow your purpose, and how you build relationships. All of this, you know, are part of nurturing a greater vitality of your life. And that is how we actually talk about, you know, supporting ourselves inside out. And sometimes the biggest transformation you can make is really making those little changes that happen day in and day out. And it's always the little things, you know, done consistently over time that brings about the breakthroughs that you see. So that's why I always encourage, you know, my loved ones, my clients that I serve through my transitions lifestyle system, wellness and weight management solution, to look after not only your body, but other areas of your lives, including, you know, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and socially as well. So that's an area that we really need to look after ourselves inside out, and that is, you know, nurturing your health. Now, the other part, the second principle, is unlocking your wealth. Unlocking wealth, a lot of people, when they look at the word wealth, you know, they only think about financial resources. Really, in the context with this sharing, is related to the parallel that exists between our holistic health and the material world. You know, a balanced life is one that we actually keep our projects going, our relationships healthy, and the dimensions in health in order. You know, a few years ago, after a coaching session with one of my clients, as I reflected back on my father's death and my own heart disorder, when I suddenly got the prompting to take a good hard look at my life and well-being. And so I was mindfully thinking about, you know, what I've taught and shared with my clients, and how I've been also applying what I've taught others as well. So as I sat there pondering how I had lived up until that point, and considering what I wanted my future to look like, I realized that health and well-being in my spirit, in my mind, in my soul, in my body really mattered to me. That's why I always say, you know, total well-being, wellness, and health is really my core value. And that my mission is to help as many people as I can in as many ways as I can. So I started the process by evaluating what I had achieved in terms of my own life goal, and what I hoped to accomplish in terms of helping others as a contributing factor. So that's why, you know, I always say, you know, what I do is not just a business, it's actually a mission and a calling that I would love to be able to help others. But there is always a gap, because in order to close the gap between who I was and who I hope to become, in order to help others in a more effective way, I decided to take action to improve various parts of not only my own well-being, but others, to fulfill this mission to help people to transform and grow in different parts of my life and others as well, including spiritual life, relationships, personal development, health, as well as finances. So think about it, there are people who have a lot of money, like my dad was a classic example. He was very wealthy and successful in his business, and yet he had very, very poor health and he died very early. And, a lot of people had a lot of money, but no joy to experience life. Are these people truly wealthy or rich? There is actually a proven parallel between health and wealth. Understanding this parallel will help you find more energy to do what you love and what is life about, living on purpose and mission and passion as well. So it is, important for you to figure out your mind, body, and spirit connection. And for me, my personal ethos is that health is one of the richest part of our lives, and abundance of wealth is not worth anything if you have a lot of money unless you have health. So do you agree? If you agree that health is actually the first wealth, then just type it in the comment below. Tell me that you agree that health is very, very important. In fact, it's the first wealth. And if there is one thing that I wish for every single one of you that is watching this live or the replay on this video, is that you have great health. And true wealth is the ability to fully experience life with total wellness in all 5 dimensions of health. And if you have great health, then being able to fully experience life is true wealth, and you can achieve that. All right, so the third principle and the last one that I'm going to be sharing today, is to develop a healthy and an abundance mindset. When talking about living in an excellent and great life, there are 2 skills we need to master. These 2 skills include the science of achievement and the art of fulfillment, right? So a lot of people think of achievement, that they want to achieve so many things and, their goals and dreams, but then they lack the fulfillment or significance in their lives. So each of us actually needs to determine what is sufficient for our needs and reflect on the connection between material finances and living a fulfilling life. So, type it in the comment if you agree that having money alone is not enough if your life is not fulfilled or meaningful. I certainly feel that. I mean, I've seen that with my dad. I've seen that with a lot of people that are millionaire. They're very, very rich, but then their life is not fulfilled and meaningful. Then it's not the best. Seriously, we all need to step back and look at our money blueprint and examine our relationship with our finances, and not only just looking at having money, but not having a meaningful, fulfilling, and happy, healthy life. But one interesting thing was I used to think negatively about money. When I first experienced, the unhealthiness of my dad and, his death as well, I felt, well, he was very healthy. He was very wealthy, but not healthy. So then money is really not meaningful. So that's why I had this concept that money was negative. However, when I started to understand the abundance mindset, I started to develop a new paradigm in financial thinking and feeling, that as I moved from being an employee to an entrepreneur now, I started to learn about the practical tools that shifted my money understanding and blueprint. And, it's 9 years ago now, in October 2011, Richard Branson came to Melbourne, and he was the keynote speaker for Financial Education Summit, and he shared his amazing story and financial success And I had the privilege to spend time with him alongside a group of other entrepreneurs in the green room and the photo session. And one of the things that struck me about Sir Richard Branson was his down-to-earth ways and his billionaire mentality. You know, from my research studies and in reading about his books, I found that to develop and nurture an abundance mindset, we need to see options and opportunities where we face obstacles and challenges. And so, you know, when we actually look at money not as something that actually give us some material gains, but to contribute to others and to make a difference and impact, then it becomes meaningful. Because if we're able to express appreciation regularly and recognize that money is neutral, if you use it for the good cause, you know, you can actually help so many people. And if we're able to then manage it well and develop the skills, including budgeting, leveraging, investing, spending, and saving. And one area that I personally am very interested in sharing with people is what we call shopping annuity, where you can actually convert your spending into earning. So that's why, you know, developing an abundance mindset without sacrificing your health is something that now I teach people as part of my business and also mission, because that abundance mindset can help you to make a huge difference. And you too can actually do that if you're mindful and reflect on your abundance by focusing on your attention on what you can do through the abundance mindset, not only what you have or what you don't have, because it's been said that when you make a difference with what you have, it expands and it can actually help so many people. So that's basically what I'd love to share with you, because if you can give to others, then you will be able to make a huge difference. So going back to my 3 key principles about health, about wealth and abundance mindset. If you can take care of your body and you can look after others, caring for the mind, your heart, your soul, and connecting with your inner spirit or spiritual wisdom, and that is the biggest power that you can tap into, and so that your true wealth can be used as a way to keep in touch with your total wellness, with the 5 dimensions of the anchor again, which is your spiritual, mental, emotional, social, and physical health. So finally, I would like to challenge you one thing. If you have any physical symptom, or if you're suffering from any kind of pain or epidemic that plagues us, like I know that a lot of people are so worried nowadays of the coronavirus or flus and different things like that, I want to ask yourself, what is the real reason I'm not optimally healthy? When we talk about optimal health, it's not only just about without symptoms, I don't have any flu or cold, but optimally healthy is that you have full vitality in all areas of your life. So let us be honest and actually be open and reflect that you are able to be vulnerable, and think about what things can I change in order to nurture my health, to nurture my wealth and my abundance mentality, so that you can pursue your purpose and your passion, and you'll be able to dream big, live big, and do life in a way that will make a huge difference to others as well. So so is there anything you guys like to ask? Please feel free to put into comment below, and I'd love to be interacting with you. So thank you everyone for being on this live today, and I look forward to having more interaction with you. And if you'd like to have a chat with me personally, please feel free to